Hi there, it's Ian from Griptape, and I've got another sample flow for you built with Griptape Nodes today. If you're a Griptape Nodes user or you're subscribed to our email list, you might have received our latest newsletter, which went out yesterday. This is in early August 2025. And unsurprisingly, I use Griptape Nodes to build those newsletters, and I've been iterating on this, evolving this process over the course of the last couple of months. And I wanted to take you through the flow today that I use to create drafts for the Griptape Nodes newsletter. And this is a little bit different from most of the demos that you've seen from us. Most of the demos that we've shown you have been image or video related flows. This one is pure text, and I'm going to show you how to build a parameterized text workflow to automate a content creation task like creating a marketing newsletter of the type that we do here. So let's jump into it. It's a moderately complex flow. But let's jump into it and I'll explain how this all works for you. So I take some input content in order to build the newsletter, as you might guess, and there's a couple of different things that I bring in. The first are examples of past newsletters, and you can see what I do here is create a couple of text nodes for past newsletters, and I just paste in the copy from the previous newsletters that we've sent out. The first one of these was created by hand. The second one was created using a workflow similar to this one, but edited quite significantly by hand. And then I can use those to kind of prime or give examples to the agent that we're using here, what the kind of shape, style, and content format is that we want to use for our newsletters. So I create a text list which actually has those large artifacts in it. I convert that text list into JSON, and I convert that JSON into text and use that as an input to my agent, which I'll show you how that works in a second. And then the second thing that I have as input is links to the specific content items or blog posts that I want to cover in this particular newsletter. So I've got our Topaz Labs nodes post, a post that we wrote about adding MCP services tools to the Griptape framework in the most recent release, and also the storyboard for advertising post that's also in the most recent newsletter. And I do the same thing with those. I create a JSON structure from that list, and I convert that JSON structure into text. And you can see that there's a list there, a JSON list object with our URLs in it for those three things that we want to reference. And then providing those inputs to the agent, they'd be kind of useless on their own. So I have some standard instructions that I provide using the examples of newsletter copy in this list. And I pull in the example newsletters, create a new version of the Griptape Nodes newsletter that summarizes the content in the new blog post in the list below. And I pass in that second list of blog post URLs. And I use the merge text node to concatenate those things together into one text object that you can see here in the output. And then I use another merge text node to add additional instructions. So my additional instructions for this particular instance of the newsletter are include a final section that promotes the event described here. And this is the upcoming Nodes workshop that we have running in San Francisco on the 25th of this month at the AWS Loft there. And I just provide a link to the Luma page where we promote that event. So you might be asking, how does the agent get the copy? Well, in order to get the agent that I'm using to get the copy, I attach a couple of tools to the agent. One is a web scraper and the other one is a web search tool. And in combination, those tools allow the agent to go out and grab additional copy, which is provided in the form of URLs, grab and read the information about the event. And although I don't need it in this particular case, I can be pretty vague about my instructions because we also have the search tool there. So if I provide some vaguer instructions, the agent can go out and do web search in order to find additional information that it might need in order to complete the post. And then the prompt that we end up with for our agent, you can see is concatenated from those different list inputs using the examples of newsletter copy in this list. And then you have the newsletter copy, you have the URLs that I mentioned, you have the final instructions there that are provided. And the other thing that we have is we have a rule set which drives the behavior that we want in this particular drafting agent here. And that rule set is created up here. And here's a bit of a tip for you. Actually use another agent to create the rule set. So I have a prompt over here. If you were an expert digital marketer working for a top tech company, what are some rules that you would give to a new employee that was working on creating copy for newsletters? And it goes on a little bit, but I can basically regenerate the rules that I want to use repeatedly by running this node in isolation. And then when I'm happy with the rules, I can use the lock node fit function that we added recently to freeze that node so that those rules do not get regenerated anymore. They become static input. They get passed in through the rule set feature to that final agent. And then when we run the whole flow, the agent goes out using those rules to research the copy items that we've provided here, and it produces newsletter copy like this. Then move that over into the other tools that we have in our workflow, edit it, format it, and that's what forms the basis of the newsletters that we send out to our customers. So hope that's a useful example for you. A more complex text flow using Griptape Nodes, our sophisticated flow editor for generative AI workflows. If you want to learn more, you can find us at griptapenodes.com. Thanks very much. Talk to you soon.